Welcome to the 29th lesson of SmartKnitter, Knit Instructions Level 2. In this lesson, we will talk about floats options during translation. Let's look at this panel with float jacquard. Upon translation, we can see a lot of tucks in the panel. Let's go back to translation setting to make some changes. Under jacquard setting, we can set the longest float length here. Change the value from 3 to 5 and translate again. As the longest distance between two knit stitches is 5, there will not be tucks to secure the floats anymore. Let's look at another file. If the feeder is further away from the knitting area, it would be brought in before knitting and secured with transfer. However, using transfer to secure yarn is sometimes not stable, causing laddering of the knitted panel. There are two ways to resolve this problem. If we use transfer to lock yarn, we should check, when lock yarn with transfer and body, knit extra inches as well. The feeder would be brought into the knitting area for the extra set distance, making the ravel yarn closer to the needle bed. This ensures the yarn is secure before knitting. Another method is to choose, if lock ravel yarn, uses knit to lock yarn instead. Now the body yarn would knit a stitch at edge to secure the ravel yarn. This is a more stable option. Let's look at a panel with tubular jacquard. We can see that there are partial knitting at the cast-on row of the jacquard. Let's return to the translation setting page to fix this. Under the Others in Translation setting, we can see the max float length is set to 2. As we're doing a tubular jacquard with 1x3 backing, we need to change it to a number larger than 3. Let's say we change it to 4 stitches instead. Translate again, and the setup row is now correct. Let's look at a panel with partial jacquard. After translation, we can see the setup row is broken up into many short rows. Similar to the previous example, we can change the stitch count for longest float here and translate again. When we use different jacquard backings, this setting should be changed accordingly. The setup row is correct now. Let's look at another file. We can see that multiple feeders are secured at the same row. If we want to secure the yarn separately, we can change some settings during translation. We can check the option, 4 revolutions earlier, bring in and lock with transfer, and lock one group of feeders at one time. The feeders are now brought in one at a time. In this example, partial jacquard is in the center of panel. When the feeders are brought into the center of the panel, the yarn sometimes is not secured successfully with transfer, causing laddering of the knitted panel. In translation setting, set a larger number for the option. When lock yarn with transfer and body, knit extra inches. When the feeder is further away from the transfer stitch, the yarn is closer to the needle bed and easier to be secured. This marks the end of this tutorial. Thank you for watching.